2026-27 Premier League season is finally here, and this might be one of the hardest seasons to predict yet. 3 new teams are coming up, some huge clubs have new managers, and the transfer window has completely changed several squads. So, from 20th all the way to 1st, here is my 2026-27 Premier League prediction. And remember, this is my prediction, so you might completely disagree with it. 20th, Hull City. Starting at the bottom, I have Hull City in 20th. Hull did not really impress, even in the Championship, placing 6th, but coming through with the Cup. Premier League is a completely different level. Their defensive numbers were a major concern in the Championship, and they will now face some of the best attacks in Europe. 19th, Ipswich Town. In 19th, I have Ipswich Town. They've already experienced the Premier League recently, but their previous campaign showed just how difficult it can be for a promoted side. Their biggest problem is going to be defending against the quality of Premier League forwards. They've brought in experience and appointed Gary O'Neill, which could help them, but I still don't see enough quality to keep them up. 18th, Coventry City. Now this one might surprise some people, but Coventry played great season in the Championship, having plus 52 goal difference. Frank Lampard has Premier League experience as a manager, and Coventry have a strong team spirit after their promotion. Coventry will fight until the final weeks, but eventually they'll just fall short. 17th, Crystal Palace. Palace have enough individual quality to stay in the Premier League, but I'm expecting a difficult season. They've lost important players. I think their experience in the league saves them from relegation, but only just. 16th, Fulham. Fulham have been a very solid Premier League team in recent seasons, but this could be the year where they finally take a step backwards. 15th, Newcastle United. This might be one of the most controversial predictions. Newcastle have a fantastic squad, but they've had some massive changes. They've lost important players, including Sandro Tonali to Tottenham, and there's uncertainty around the direction of the squad. They'll still have enough quality to survive comfortably, but I don't see them being anywhere near the Champions League places this time. 14th, Nottingham Forest. Forest have shown that they can compete with the big teams, but losing Elliot Anderson to Manchester City is a huge blow. I expect Forest to have some really good moments, but consistency will be their biggest problem. In 13th, I've got Leeds United. Leeds impressed me after returning to the Premier League, and Daniel Farke knows exactly what it takes to compete in English football. They struggled for pace and creativity in certain areas last season, and against stronger Premier League sides, that could hurt them. 12th, Sunderland. Now we get to one of the most interesting teams. I have Sunderland finishing 12th, and honestly, this could be too low. Sunderland shocked everyone last season by finishing 7th after promotion and even qualifying for Europe. But now comes the difficult part. They have to balance Premier League football with European football, and their squad depth will be tested heavily. The extra matches stopped them from repeating last season's incredible finish. 11th, Brentford. At 11th, I have Brentford. Brentford are one of those teams that you should never underestimate. Their recruitment is excellent. They know exactly how they want to play, but I think this season they'll be more of a mid-table team. They won't be in a relegation battle, but they also won't quite have enough to break into the European places. 10th, Everton. Everton have quietly built a team that I think could surprise people. They're difficult to play against, they're physically strong, and they have the defensive structure to frustrate bigger teams. If they improve their attack, they could easily finish higher. 9th, Bournemouth. The interesting part is that Andoni Iraola is gone, so their style could change significantly. They still have dangerous attackers and enough quality to compete with almost anyone. 8th, Brighton. In 8th, I've got Brighton. Brighton are basically impossible to predict because they're constantly developing young players and changing their squad. I think they'll play some fantastic football and push for Europe, but ultimately finish just outside the top 7. 7th, Tottenham Hotspur. Now we're getting into the European places. And I think Spurs are one of the biggest wild cards this season. They've spent huge money bringing in players like Sandro Tonali and Mateus Fernandes. Roberto De Zerbi is also bringing a completely different style of football. If everything clicks, Spurs could finish much higher. 6th, Aston Villa. At 6th, I have Aston Villa. Villa have the quality to challenge for the top 4, but they suffered a massive loss with Morgan Rogers leaving for Chelsea. That is a huge amount of creativity and goals to replace. Unai Emery is still an excellent manager, and Villa Park will remain one of the hardest places to visit. 5th, Manchester United. This is another team that could completely prove me wrong. Michael Carrick is now in charge, and United have strengthened their midfield with players like Yuri Tielemans and Andre Santos. The squad has more balance, but there are still major questions about consistency.